So because Heroes of the Storm is Blizzard's way of unifying all of its franchises under one roof, sort of, we all knew that there would eventually be some oddities in the roster, like the medieval fantasy of Warcraft going against the sci-fi feeling of Overwatch, or guns and nukes being used on literal goddamn demons. Weirdest of all, though, has to be the inclusion of D.Va into the Nexus. The girl is famous for playing StarCraft, for playing as characters that are already in the Nexus. What in the hell must this girl be thinking right now?
No one's gonna believe I met someone from StarCraft. Can we take a selfie?
Oh, right. She's a freaking teenager. This is the Heroes of the Storm Heroic Spotlight, and today we're looking at D.Va, the mecha pilot.
If you ever see anyone else get MVP, that's just the system being broken. D.Va #1 tank KR!
So, alright guys, I'm gonna be real with you for a second here. I'm pretty sure D.Va is my new main. Like, she was only released a few weeks ago. Holy crap, it's been a while since I made one of these things. But she's already become one of my most played heroes. She's just so damn fun. Now, heroes like Li Ming and Nova will always have a special place in my heart, but honestly, I kind of feel like I contribute so much more to a team just by using D.Va.
Back out, back out, back out. Oh, good dive, Illidan. Good dive.
Okay, I pressure them off.
You want me to scare him off? Okay.
Just pressure them off of it. It'll hit the creep too, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Finish this.
Got it.
Oh shit! Did she just steal all of our
She's still
shit?
some, yeah.
Yeah, just finish her
But
off.
she'll die in the process for it. She wasn't gonna get away with it, that's for sure.
Now, before I get too ahead of myself, D.Va definitely has her flaws. She's not a real tank, not like Arthas or Muradin anyway, so her frontlining capabilities have their limits. She has a damage reduction ability, but it's vulnerable to kiting. Without her boosters, she has no escape, and without her mech, she's easy pickings for a kill. But more about that later. For now, let's get to the good stuff. D.Va's kit has two passives, one for her mech and one without it. While in her mech form, D.Va has a slow movement speed, much more health, and access to all of her abilities. If she's killed, she drops into her pilot mode and only awards 50% experience to the enemy, meaning that skilled players can actually avoid granting their opponents easy levels if they can get away. While in pilot mode, D.Va is faster, but she has much less health. Each of her attacks help reduce the cooldown of her next mech by 0.5 seconds, and like in mech mode, she only awards 50% experience when she's killed. So again, play safe and deny those levels.
Is this easy mode?
Now, both her Q and W abilities are locked into D.Va's mech mode, so without it, Pilot D.Va only has her basic attack to rely on. Her Q is boosters, and it increases her movement speed by 125% for 2 seconds. Enemies that are hit by D.Va while she's boosting take damage and are knocked back, and until the ability wears off, D.Va cannot be slowed by other characters. She can be rooted still, so be aware of that. While in her giant mech suit though, D.Va becomes yet another hero who can't mount up, meaning that her boosters are really the only way she can get around until she gets out of it. Without them, she has the slowest movement speed in the game, so how do you fix that? Well, her level 1 talents all kind of help with that in their own way. They offer a lot of variety, but personally, I just about always take Rushdown. It cuts down the cooldown of her boosters if you're careful about when you use them, and in a pinch, that reduced cooldown can help you rejoin the fight faster if you have to hurt. You just can't beat that! Defense Matrix is D.Va's W, and I'll be honest here, this is probably her least useful ability, but only by comparison to the others. With it, D.Va channels a protective field in front of her mech that reduces damage by enemy heroes inside it by 75% for 3 seconds. D.Va can still move while channeling, but she can't turn, meaning your opponents can skirt the field to still inflict their full damage. Any damage taken by D.Va from enemies within the field, however, will still grant her charge for her E, but we'll get to that. Now, as I said, I do find this ability to be the least useful part of her kit, but not for any flaw with the ability itself. I tend to play D.Va aggressively and only use the field to suppress enemies while waiting for my boosters to come off cooldown, or to help a weaker ally escape from a bad situation. A lot of the time opponents will simply step out of it to continue attacking, so unless you're fighting newer players or using it to abuse choke points, the field ultimately feels lackluster overall. But I mean, hey, free charge if it works, you know? You know, it's been a while since I've made one of these. I think this is the part where I make a joke, so what's wrong with your face? Finally, we get to her E, and when D.Va was first revealed, this ability shocked the hell out of me because, in Overwatch, it's her freaking ultimate. D.Va's E is self-destruct. She ejects from her mech after setting it to overload, granting a huge field around the machine that explodes after 4 seconds. Any enemy caught in the blast takes massive damage, which only increases the closer they are to the epicenter of the explosion. Now the damage is cut in half against structures, but if you ever needed a way to keep enemies away from something like an objective, or to cover a retreat, this is the ability to go to. You can build up charge by attacking and taking damage, and successfully using self-destruct will ensure that Pilot D.Va will have a new mech immediately at the ready. In pilot mode, D.Va's E becomes call mech, and it does exactly what you'd think it does. You call a new mech that D.Va boards and resumes her stronger, tankier mode. However, just like in Overwatch, you can still be targeted and attacked during the boarding animation, so be sure to play it safe. If your mech is destroyed without the use of your E, the ability starts with a 45-second cooldown. And while that can be lowered by attacking, the better, faster method is simply to destroy your own mech before the enemy can. Using self-destruct not only scatters the enemy, but also grants Pilot D.Va a fully refreshed call mech to use the moment the machine goes KABOOM! Now for me, I adore this ability, and it's not hard to see why. Is your health getting low? Well then hit that big red button and watch the explosion light up the sky. You can usually get in some nice auto attacks while your enemies run away, and if you start getting hit, simply hit E again to get a brand new mech. Once on board her mech, D.Va's health is fully restored, so even if your new machine gets destroyed, don't worry, you'll still have a new full health bar to run away with. It's great! But if self-destruct isn't D.Va's ultimate anymore, then what is? Well, for that, Blizzard has given us two new unique choices to pick from. One for her mech, and one for Pilot D.Va. The mech heroic is Bunny Hop. D.Va becomes unstoppable for 4 seconds and stomps around as she moves, dealing damage and slowing enemies by 40%. This ability shines when your opponents like to group up to attack, so you can boosters in and make them scatter, or crush them entirely. Since D.Va can still move as she hops, you can chase down lower health enemies to secure a kill, or simply steer foes away from important objectives. On the flip side of things, her pilot heroic is Big Shot, and it's pretty simple by comparison. D.Va fires a powerful shot in a straight line, dealing damage to all enemies hit. The cooldown of her call mech ability is reduced by 8 seconds for every enemy hero hit, making this invaluable if you find yourself getting kicked out of your robot more often than you'd like. Now, out of the two of them, I find myself vastly preferring Big Shot over Bunny Hop, and the reason for that is twofold. The first is the cooldown. With only a 4-second cooldown, it's insanely easy to put this ability to use, and as pilot mode doesn't really come with many benefits on its own, having an unexpected punch when a foe thinks you're weak is a godsend. The second reason relates to a specific talent, and possibly D.Va's most overpowered one at that. At level 16, she can take GG well played, and you're a damn fool if you don't think that's the right decision. With it, Pilot D.Va's attack power raises by 50%, and any takedown she's involved in immediately refreshes the cooldown of Call Mech. This single talent has saved me more times than I can count, not just for the cooldown, but also for the message it sends as well. Taking this is like putting a big sign that says to everybody, yeah, go ahead and knock me out of my mech, see what happens. No joke, the moment you hit 16 is when the entire game just changes. You're no longer just a bruiser tank hybrid thing, you're a fucking monster that's just been unleashed on the enemy team. The sheer amount of surprise damage you can inflict can make entire team fights swing around in your favor, all thanks to this one talent. The talent was so good they've already had to go and nerf it. What more proof do you need? So as I said, D.Va has quickly become one of my favorite heroes to play, which, considering how much I suck with her in Overwatch, is actually saying quite a lot. She has great potential when it comes to filling a variety of roles, from bruiser to assassin to even peeler or kiter. She does get busted down the same as anyone else by characters like Tychus or Vala, and a good tracer could just decimate both of her forms with very little effort. But with the right setup and a little practice, a good D.Va is an outright beast to have to deal with. Now, if only I could get her to stop egging me on.
Are you Bronze League?
I'm trying my best, okay? Hey everyone, thanks for watching. I know, another huge delay, but I kinda went and burnt myself out on making these, so yeah, a break is needed from time to time. Still, I'm grateful to everyone who sticks around and lets me know what they think. And as always, I'm always on the lookout for more suggestions on who to cover next, and you can let me know with a comment or a message on either Facebook or Twitter, or even on the Discord channel. So until next time, I'll see you in the Nexus.